The majority of goods we ship across this continent moves on trucks. But now, at least here in Canada, there seems to be a tough time finding people to drive them. Canada is currently short about 22,000 truck drivers, and an estimate from the Canadian Trucking Alliance says the number could climb to 48,000 by 2024. Joining me this morning is the president of the Canadian Trucking Alliance and Ontario Trucking Association, Steve Laskowski. The issue here isn't compensation. Long-haul truck drivers, the ones who are on the road for long stretches of time, can earn as much as $70,000 per year. What is causing this shortage?
Well, Peter, it's a number of factors. For one, young people these days want to look at jobs differently. They want a little bit more work-life balance. And for the trucking industry and the long-haul industry, we are doing a number of factors and trying to make a number of adjustments. But the reality is Toronto, Vancouver, Toronto, Dallas is a long haul, and you're going to be away from home. So we need to overcome some of those issues by adjusting schedules, but also in terms of also marketing the opportunity to young people in our industry and making them aware of the opportunities in our industry.
Now, one of the things Ontario's opened up its immigrant nominee program to try and bring in more people, meaning more foreign workers who can apply for permanent residency. Is immigration really the right answer to this shortage?
You know, in terms of immigration, I think we need to take a step back, not just look at our sector, but the whole economy, and then we can relate it back to trucking. 71% of our population growth in Canada is related to immigration. 90% of our labor market growth is related to immigration. The trucking industry really doesn't have an access to the immigration like other high-tech sectors. What we're saying as an industry is we want that same access because, as you can see, growth is related to immigration. So we've had two recent announcements that we're quite happy with. One at the provincial level in the last provincial budget. Trucking is now a part of the nominee program, which is going to greatly assist us. And at the federal level, the rural and northern Canadian pilot program, which will allow industries, including trucking, in those communities, there was 11 of them announced, to access immigration in a way they couldn't previously. So, indeed, immigration is part of the puzzle. It's not all of it.
Now, one of the things that a lot of people have talked about for years is these trucks on the road. First of all, they're challenging to drive around. We've seen in different situations the Humboldt crash where people without the experience behind the wheel makes it dangerous. Is the answer maybe not hiring 22,000 more truck drivers and maybe moving some of the goods onto trains?
You know, one of the great urban myths is that truck driving is going to go away because of technology. The answer is it's not going away. It's going to be continually to be needed. Yeah. But what technology is doing is making a modern truck, an environmentally friendly truck, even safer and more IT related in terms of more sensitive and more equipment involved in it. So for younger people wanting to come into our industry, a truck is a rolling computer. Yeah. It's high tech. There's a lot involved in it. And that is part of our communication strategy and making people aware of the opportunity that we have in our sector in driving a modern vehicle.
But I know you don't want to take trucks off the road. That's your business. That's your area. But is the answer, especially environmentally, maybe removing some of those, having more short-haul drivers from major ports, you're leaving it to the trains, putting these big bins on backs of trains instead?
Sure. From an environmental perspective, trucks are cleaner than they ever were. Yeah. The air coming out of an exhaust system is actually cleaner in most modern cities. Okay. So it's not an environmental issue. It's more of an issue of understanding that the modern Canadian economy moves by truck. 70% of our U.S. trade moves by truck, and 20% of our GDP is related to that. So the issue is we need to solve the problem, because if we don't solve the problem, the Canadian economy will suffer.
All right.
Thanks for watching. If you like this, be sure to subscribe here.
And you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.